Good morning, class. Welcome to this session of Food Science and Nutrition. Today we are actually doing revision. It's a time when you will ask all the questions that you have on any topic, and also I will also be out there engaging you and asking you questions so that we ensure that we are, we are at par and we have nothing left uncovered. Okay, so maybe I could start by asking you, maybe if you have any questions. Any questions we have? We don't have any questions on any topic?
Question. Potential dangers of using food additives.
Sorry?
Potential dangers of using food additives.
What are the potential dangers of using food additives? That's a very good question. We are aware that most of these food additives are chemicals that maybe will have to be added onto food. Some can actually have detrimental value, like we have E251, which is nitrate, sodium nitrate, and its counterpart, which is sodium nitrite. They tend to have carcinogenic value. Carcinogenic means that they can cause cancer. They can cause abnormal cells need to increase in the body. By the way, everyone has those cells in the body, but the rate at which they increase for one person is what really makes cancer happen. So sodium nitrite and sodium nitrate will cause stomach cancer if used in food. And of course, if you eat food that is maybe like that has been preserved using that nitrite or nitrate, both of them. Okay, others may cause allergies. Okay, and an allergy could be mild and it can also cause death. You know that. Hello.
Sorry.
Are we aware that an allergy can be mild as kukohoa ama kujikuna, and it can also cause death?
Yes.
Yes. So allergies can also be quite a serious danger to a person. What else? What other dangers do you think would be there apart from developing cancer, developing allergy?
Food poisoning.
Well, depending on what, they can also cause food poisoning. But food poisoning mostly, unless maybe the expiry dates have already gotten. I mean, like the food has expired, and when it is a cause food poisoning or even serious, even more serious danger. Okay, remember kuna kitu kama wax inaitwa BT, is it BTA ama BTH yenye lazima ikue kwa hiyo mkebe hapo kwa lining, lazima ikue, and that hiyo thing can actually cause also serious disease. So if you're using the mkebe kama imefika siku ya expiry, you might actually be exposing yourself to that chemical. Yes. Another question. Apart from that, the fact that some of these additives will come in with their own salts, like unasikia sodium nitrite already is a salt, isn't it? So what is happening is that the food is even more salty, and of course that is also another risk for people with living with lifestyle diseases, like a person with hypertension who is not even supposed to be eating a very salty food, and then now they're exposed to a diet of food additives with such salts, then of course atakuwa na complications. Okay, Then those others that actually contain sugar, they are not good for people with diabetes and cancer and even HIV and AIDS. Have I answered you, Godfrey?
Yes.
Okay, another question?
Question.
Yes.
Indicators of food spoilage.
What are the indicators of food spoilage? Yes. Let me ask, let us hear this from people in class. How would you know that the food is going bad? Tabitha, how the food is going bad? Burak, you can help?
The appearance of the food.
Yes, the appearance. Can you give like an example?
Like, let's say when the milk is spoiled, when you boil it, it tastes differently.
It actually in a katika, isn't it? It curdles.
Yeah.
Another one, Tabitha, I'm still on you. Another way you know food is bad.
It has a rancid odor.
Well, it may smell rancid. Rancid mostly happens with fatty food or food that have lots of fat. So maybe utasikia maybe some, especially smoked meat and such, utaanza kusikia kaharufu fulani. Maybe you've ever mshaichinja mkaweka mafuta kwa nyumba, hiyo mafuta ya mbuzi ama sijui ni ya ng'ombe, and after some time there's this smell that comes from that mafuta if you did not use it immediately. Yes, and you might actually feel that even in grilled meat yenye umeweka kwa fridge, after some time utasikia hiyo harufu, ni kumaanisha the mafuta is getting rancid. What about something like bread, Tabitha? How do you know bread is going bad?
Molds.
Yes, you'll get molds in bread. It will start looking greenish and fiery. Yes. Yes. And maybe even like berries, strawberries, and even grapes. Ukizieka for some time, what happens to them? Yes. Yes. Okay. If you are looking at things like fruits, like strawberries, berries, even mangoes, if you leave it long without maybe refrigeration, it starts growing some things on top, isn't it?
Yes, and sometimes it has other tastes.
Yes, and actually the food will taste stale. The food will even start smelling bad. All those things combined. So indicators of good spoiled food is the smell, the physical appearance, and even the taste. Sometimes the physical appearance itself and even the smell will tell you not to even taste the food. If you taste the food, you might find yourself in the hospital. Sindio? Godfrey? 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 Okay. I hope I've answered Godfrey. anything nutrition? No question? Okay. Then let me ask my own questions. Why is a balanced diet necessary? Why do we need a balanced diet? Godfrey, why is a balanced diet necessary? Okay. We need a balanced diet because when you're eating a balanced diet, it means that you're getting all the nutrients. And if you're asked why a balanced diet is necessary, you are supposed to give the importances of good nutrition. Okay. What do you say are the importances of good nutrition? We say good nutrition promotes health. What else? It promotes well-being, like fitness and everything. What else? It also gives us, like good hair, good skin, and such other things. Your skin will look fresh and revitalized. Your hair will look shiny and all if you are eating well. And when you're not eating well, it will also be able to show. Okay. Are we together? So if
Yes.
you sorry?
Yes, we're together.
Okay. Another ask a question if you have any before I ask another one. Any topic. Okay, we talked about things like we talked about water as a nutrient, right? And
Yes.
we say that water is very important in the diet.
Yes.
Because it regulates metabolic processes and even the osmotic pressure in the body. It also generally supports homeostasis. If you remember homeostasis in biology, okay, those things that are happening inside your body from in the muscles, from the brain all the way to the muscles, they require water for them to happen. Like the ions need to be carried by water. And this water is not just going to be water because now it has mixed with blood, isn't it? Yes. So we need the water. If you do not have enough water in the body, of course your blood becomes very thick, and it may not be able to travel as easily as it should. Okay. So that is why you're advised to take a lot of water. We said that a normal human being, like a woman, should take how much water? 2 liters of water, isn't it?
Yes.
And a man should take 2.5. 2.6. Okay. Okay. And then we said that for like a pregnant woman, she might need more water than just a normal adult woman. Okay. A lactating mother needs more water than a normal adult woman, right? We also said that even in adolescence, if a girl is pregnant in adolescence, she needs more water than any other adolescent girl. Okay. We also said that if you do maybe a lot of physical activity, like when mtu wa mjengo ama unaendaga tizi, like you go to the gym or you are a player, you need more water than anyone else. So you cannot say, the doctor, like nutritionally, I'm supposed to take 2 liters of water. If you feel you need more water, you are supposed to take more water. Okay. However, you may have taken your 2 liters of water. Yeah. And you're still feeling thirsty. And after maybe taking that water, you still feel more thirsty. Then that's a medical problem. You go and have it checked. Okay. If you feel that need, every few minutes you want to take some water. Now, where at the end of the day, you have taken your 2 liters, you are set with your 2 liters, then you should have it checked, because that is one of the symptoms that someone is developing diabetes. You know that? Ama, you have ever heard of that? So if you feel you are getting very, 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 very thirsty, and you have already taken, your water, ile maji unafaa kunywa daily, then you should know that there's an issue. Okay. Then we also talked about nutrition in the lifespan. We talked of, like what kind of food we should eat when. We said that before you get pregnant, if you're, preparing to get pregnant, there's that kind of food that you should, like look for, isn't it? You eat well, eat healthy food, eat foods that are rich in protein, eat foods that are rich in vitamins and minerals, in preparation for the development of a fetus inside the body. And once the fetus gets there, yeah, if God blesses you and gives you that fetus, then you also have to look at what you go on and feed that baby. For example, your protein intake must go up, your vitamin C, vitamin A, D, and E have to increase, and minerals, and not forgetting water, isn't it? So you have to think of that. Of course, you cannot add fats and carbohydrates. Okay, we again don't want this baby to overgrow. Will develop whatever we call gestational diabetes. So you have to make sure that your foods are generally rich in proteins and vegetables and fruits. Okay, so because of the vitamins, and of course the foods will also contain minerals that you require in the body. Okay. All right. So then we also have to think of maybe like an adult person. We talked of men don't have such big requirements apart from having a balanced diet and eating foods of the right calorific value for their maybe weight and their kind of jobs. But for women, they need more iron. Why do they need more iron? Why do they need more iron? Why do they need more iron? Come on, Lorato. Why do you need more iron in your body?
Because of the menstrual periods. Yeah.
Yes, because we an adult woman, we lose a lot of blood every month through menstruation, isn't it? So that is why iron is required. And when in old age, you realize that it will actually go down, like after menopause. Tabitha, we need to mute you. Okay, so then it means that when someone when we are growing older, when maybe like that woman has gone to menopause, meaning that there's no more menstrual process, like cycle, and there's no more reproduction, then this person does not require as much blood. And remember, this adult woman who can actually bear children, there's also the risk of maybe complications in childbirth that would lead to a lot of bleeding, and that is why they need a lot of iron in the body. Okay. Have you ever maybe had an encounter with someone who is anemic?
No.
Ama mtu mwenye ako na shida ya blood, like maybe during their menstrual process they lose a lot of blood, wana feeling dizzy and all. Have you ever been with such a person?
Nope.
And of course, I've seen so many cases, like all the cases I treat for maybe fainting in college, yeah, in normal cases for young girls, is actually a case of iron deficiency. Most of them faint, they because they are maybe their blood levels are very low and they don't know. Sometimes you may not even know, but for us as nutritionists, actually you can be able to check. How do you check for whether someone has blood? How do you check? You check
The eye.
the eye like this, okay?
Yeah.
If the eye is not
Yes.
showing those red veins, then it means that that person has no blood. Again, look at the what?
Palm.
The palm, the palm and the nails. If the nails are looking very white, actually ukizifinya unafaa kufinya, you know, like unaipress hivi alafu unaiachilia. Then if it does not show the blood that ulikuwa umefinya, it in fact inakaa yellowish or white, then that person has no blood. Okay. And the time you realize that mtu atakuwa faint and you are wondering what could have been the problem, but after taking, make sure that, like akiamka, you feed the person and then advise on iron supplementation, okay, or eating foods that are rich in iron. I know some of these foods don't taste all that good. People don't like them, like hizo matunda zinaitwa tree tomato, beetroot, what else, mamboga boga. I know young people don't like greens, yeah. So those greens, akina sukuma wiki, spinach, akina hizi local vegetables you call sijui saga, sijui kunde, all those, they are very rich in iron, okay. And iron, luckily enough, even when we cook or even overcook, the iron still remains. So you're good, and then you're still getting some supplementation of iron through cooking, because sufuria is stainless steel, isn't it? Or aluminium. Yeah. Tabitha. There is a lot of noise from your end. Okay. So then we are going to find, to look at, like, okay, you have to think about such, dietary requirements in each and every situation. For a young boy or girl, with all the energies, you know how they burst with energy, right? I'm sure like you have a cousin or even a nephew, you know, those kids, and at the age of like from 2 years all the way to 12. How are they? I want you to give me, kila mtu anipatie, you know, hata kama ni wajirani vile unamuonanga. How are those kids? Godfrey, let us start Godfrey. Those kids that you know around you, between the age of 2 and 12, how are they? Godfrey? Godfrey?
Sorry? You're breaking.
I'm breaking.
Yes.
I'm asking, those kids around 2 and 12 years of age around you, like maybe they are neighbors or cousins or nephews or even brothers or sisters, yeah. How
Yes.
are they? How can you explain, how can you describe their energy?
Wako na full energy.
Yeah,
Wako na energy nyingi.
yeah. You see how they run everywhere. They are always doing something. They are always walking around. They are never, like calm, isn't it? Yes, Burak, have you had? You have also
Pia
encountered.
wanakunywa maji mingi sana.
Yes, they're always at the dispenser. I know. Okay, Burak.
Yes.
Give us your experience with kids between 2 and 12 years.
They're very stubborn.
Are they just stubborn? They're not stubborn. It's just that
they're very playful.
Yeah, they are very
everywhere.
playful. They are everywhere. They are all over the place. They can never keep calm. They're always doing things like in my house. I'm telling you, because I think my kids are between 4 and 12 years of age. They are all over the place. Sometimes you just look at your sitting room and you feel like crying, but yeah, you just let them be. Mnafagia after a few minutes, then they have that, and they do like cut papers. See, they are making what? The next minute they are doing that's
and they
those
don't
are
eat, and they still have energy.
Well, mine eat, some eat.
Stubborn.
Okay, one does not eat, but the rest eat very well. But after they eat, the energy levels go way up there. There's one who runs everywhere. All the time. As in, like, when will you ever stop running? Yeah, because they are always ouch all the time. And ukimwita anakuja mbio, anakuja kama mshale. So you can imagine. So that kind of thing. Lorato, have you had? Do you have any experience with young kids between 2 and 12? Lorato?
No, I don't have any experience.
Are you sure? Even watoto wa neighbor?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! You need to surround yourself with those people. They just make your world feel, like you are young again. Yeah. Tabitha. Tabitha.
Yes,
Your experience with young kids?
they're stubborn.
Are they stubborn? They're not stubborn. The one is not stubborn. We cannot call them stubborn. It's just, like hata sisi tulipitia hapo. It's a phase in life. You might think they're stubborn
But
because
wasahii wanasumbua.
hapana asumbui. Hata ulikuwa na hivyo. By the way, remember that at one point you were in that age. The thing is that the energy levels are so high, especially right now. These kids mnaambia wafungiwe kwa nyumba, like they're supposed to be in the house, and wamezoea kutembea huko nje wanarukaruka. Now you're telling them they cannot go out. Yeah, so you just have to deal with whatever they bring along. Yeah, because like me in my house, I think by the time we are going back to normal, hakutakuwa na vitabu zimebaki. I don't know, today they are making sijui what paper what, today tomorrow ni birds, kesho kuna mtu anatengeneza dragons, sijui what. They are all over the place. Yeah, and you have to like appreciate each and everything that they make. Akimake lazima akuletee, mom, look, I have made a bird. Unasema well, ukisupport unampatia motisha ya even fanya a bigger thing. So you cannot say stop it. Unamwambia tu ni mzuri, but by the end of the time actually hata vitabu zenye walikuwa nasoma nazo ni kama zimeraruka zote. They are sharing them all over. So that is the energy we are talking about. Kids with bursting energy. So these kids need a lot of food with that is energy giving. First of all, they need proteins for growth. They need to grow. Their cells need growth. If they have inadequate protein, they get stunted. They have stunted growth. So give as much protein as you can. And protein does not always mean that you have to give them meat. We talked of proteins from whole cereals like atamakwan, brown bread and such, isn't it? And then again, you can also get it from pulses, lentils, maharagwe, soya beans, even peanuts, jugu karanga. They they're rich in proteins. So make sure those kids are eating such things. Okay. Yes. So and then of course when you can you can now provide that meat, that fish, that chicken and such. Okay. Yes. For adults, a lot of meat, poultry and fish can also bring problems. Actually nerve function problems. Okay. So when you're eating a lot of meat, you get a lot of vitamin B6. And vitamin B6 is the only vitamin yenye ukikula mingi inakuletea shida. And it is going to destroy your nervous system. Unaweza kusikia your fingers are numb, ama huku chini kwa miguu, the soles of your feet are numb. That is because maybe you're overdoing that. The fish and poultry dishes. Okay, especially for those people who eat, like akula nusu nyama ama 1 kg on their own. Na si ati anaikula leo kesho ati akae another week kama hajakula. Hata tomorrow they will eat chicken, then the next time they will be eating a whole fish ya 400 shillings. Fish ya 400, eh? Yes. Alafu mtu anaitembelea peke yake and ugali, a very big piece of ugali and maybe even no vegetables. Yes. Those are problems that this person is invited to his body. Okay. Yes. So we need to check on such things. We also talked about acidity. I think that is also a very, very important point as far as nutrition is concerned. Foods and acidity. Okay. Food is very safe in our bodies when it is in alkaline state. So there's some foods that are quite acidic, especially the meats, the poultry. Okay. And the pulses, okay, and cereals, they tend to have a lot of acid. And then dairy products, especially those that are sweetened, akina yogurt, ama flavored milk, they tend to bring in a lot of acid because sugar is acidic. Okay. Otherwise, without the sugar, they are quite okay. Then we have fruits. Fruits are generally acidic in nature. Okay. Ukiangalia kina lemons, kina limes and all those, their acidic content is actually now 2-3. But the beauty of fruits is that once you eat them, they are alkalized. They are alkalized by the body, through the digestive process, and they get to pHs of 9, even 11. So they are very safe once we actually eat them and they get into the stomach. The only problem would be, we would have with the fruits if it's already that this person has acidity in the stomach, and when they eat this food, kabla ikuwe digested, of course they will feel that discomfort for some time before the fruits are alkalized. Otherwise, fruits are very fine. Vegetables are also alkaline in nature. They are generally alkaline in nature. So I don't think there's any problem with eating vegetables. Okay. Yeah. You can eat as many as possible. And by that, you can eat as, a very big plate of vegetables and nothing is going to happen to you. First of all, they have no calorific value. They have very little calorific value. So hazita kunonesha, okay? They will not bring up any problems, and they tend to make your stomach stay full for long because of the roughage. So ukishakula lots of vegetables and fruits, you don't feel hungry. You don't feel hungry very soon. It's not like when you eat bread, especially white bread. Do you know you can eat a whole loaf of white bread na bado ukuwa na space ya kukula kitu ingine? And within 2 hours, you're very hungry.
Yes.
It is very, very, very true. But eat mkate ya brown. Just how many
You get
slices?
full.
Three slices of brown bread. Ama 4 at most. By the time unamaliza kuuma the last piece of the four slices of bread, you are feeling tumbo yako iko bloated, isn't it?
Yes.
And stay like that until lunch kama hujasikia kukula kitu yoyote. But eat hiyo mkate ya white. You even eat a whole half or even more on your own. Saa 4 you want to eat something. And then you go back. Instead of eating something healthy, you go and eat a mandazi, also made from white unga. By lunchtime, you're very hungry. You eat a very big piece of white ugali. You can imagine how much starch you have in one day. And we talked of based on like the calories. We said 1 gram of mafuta, 1 gram of fat is equal to 9 calories. 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories. 1 gram of starch is also equal to 4 calories. So if you're eating hiyo mkate, remember ilipikwa na lazima iliwekwa tu mafuta. So there's a lot of mafuta there. And then you eat a whole loaf. That is 400 grams. 400 grams times 4 is already 1600 calories. Na hiyo ni asubuhi, usisahau. Na unafaa kukula by most of us at the end of the day tunafaa kukula kwa tumekula 2500 calories daily intake. Na asubuhi peke yake breakfast umekula how much? 1600. Ujakula 10 o'clock, ujakula lunch, ujakula snack ya saa 10 na ujakula sapa. Na already ushakula 1600 calories in the morning. Na sasa atasema in the morning hiyo mkate tu hujapaka bibi ama what ama honey or whatever it is that you're using. Na ujakunywa chai which is also having mafuta because of the milk, isn't it? And you are adding like 2 or 3 spoons. So by the end of the day, we always find ourselves having overindulged because of the starch. Most of the time, people want to eat a lot of rice or a lot of ugali on their plate, which is very, very unhealthy. Unafaa kula ka ugali kadogo, mboga mingi, nyama kidogo pia. Mboga zikuwe mingi, alafu after that kule ka fruit. And of course, mbogas go a bit. They are actually cheaper, way cheaper than the nyama, and you can actually you'll stay healthy. Okay, so we say that plate of yours, the daily plate should spot a lot of fruits and vegetables. Actually, like half of it should be fruits and vegetables. Actually, a third. Let's say a third of it should be fruits and vegetables. Then and the other third should be the starch, and then the other third should have the protein, maziwa, nuts, all those other things should zinafaa kuingia kwa one third the plate. So you should not have a lot of protein on your plate, and then even the starch that you're eating should actually be whole. Ugali ya grade 2, unaita grade 2, sijui number 9, watu wanaitanga number 9, yeah. I know most of us hate that ugali because tulilelewa nayo. So in our minds tunaonanga hiyo ugali ni kama a sign of poverty, si ndio? Like you are liberated, you have money in your pocket, so you don't feel like eating that ugali. But in the actual sense, that is the right food for you to eat. Okay. Yes. Sometimes we find ourselves when we are growing up, we are healthy, we don't get any sickness. Why? Because we are eating those foods that are very healthy, thinking that we are eating them because we don't have, or because they're the ones that are readily available, but they are very healthy. So when we start getting money, we stay away from that food and start eating wrongly. Before you know it, you have grown obese na hata hujaoa ama hujaolewa. You have already started having problems. Alafu kila mara kwa daktari, leo sijui unaumwa na wapi, kesho sijui ni wapi. And all these are happening because your vitamin C intake is very low. And then the other kind of food that you're eating are also not helping. They're just putting a lot of weight on you. So you need to always check. Those foods that we are eating from kitambo are actually what we should even be eating now. Maybe you just supplement them with something a bit more, high class. Lakini usiachane na ugali ya brown ama ugali ya number 9. It is very important. Chapati and bread. We go for whole meal chapatis. We go for whole meal bread. Don't say, oh, atainanga taste. I don't know why even people say that it does not have taste. You go and sample until you get the right one. Yes, Burak?
It have taste. So sweet.
Sorry?
It does have taste.
They are very good. Actually, me, I think all my life I've eaten brown bread since when I yeah.
And
yes,
also brown chapati.
And even brown chapati. Me, I'll never make any other kind of chapati. And even when I'm forced to make white chapatis, maybe I'm making for someone, maybe like qua event, and I always feel like there's something wrong with those chapatis. I look at them and I'm wondering, hey, this is chapati, nini hazina, and everyone is saying these chapatis are looking quite fine. Yeah, so unashanga. Then I'm like, oh, these are the white chapatis. Yeah, because I'm used to that color, yeah, brown chapati. So I feel like these chapatis have a problem. Okay.
Yes.
So you have to think about those kind of foods that will keep you safe. Eat lots of vegetables. Vegetables are many. We have so many vegetables. Kula zenye you're comfortable with. Okay? Kula zenye you're comfortable with. You don't always have to go for, like skuma wiki and spinach. If you don't like them, go for courgette. Go for carrots. Go for broccoli and cauliflower. Go for all those other vegetables that you feel you're going to be comfortable with, because there are way so many vegetables out there. You can even eat akina lettuce zikiwa beach na cucumber if that is what you want, if that's what you want. Eat those. Okay, but at least make sure that your plate has a lot of vegetables every meal. Okay, so can we have another question? Do you have another question? Okay, let me ask if we don't have.
Question?
I want to ask a question. Someone to ask a question. Yes?
Negative effect of energy enzymes in food.
Negative?
Effect of enzymes in food.
The negative effects of enzymes in food, as we discussed them, topic yetu ya enzymes, we said that enzymes, because they never stop their action as long as they are in the food, okay, they deteriorate the quality of food as time goes. And I'll give you a very good example of a ripe banana. Okay, the ripe banana ikianza inakuwa kayelo kazuri sana, si ndio? Kayelo kazuri without spots, then kanaanza kupata tu spots kidogo, then the following day spots ziko mingi, hiyo siku ingine hiyo ngozi yote ni kama imekuwa black, isn't it? Then the following day the banana is becoming flaccid, imeanza ndani iko ianza kuwa majimaji. The following day banana ni majimaji na inanuka hata uwezi iweka ukairibisha kwa mdomo, si ndio? All that is enzyme reaction. Okay, so one is that they deteriorate the quality of food as time goes, because as long as the food is kept in temperatures that will facilitate enzyme reaction, they will continue doing their work. Okay, Then, of course, we have those enzymes that are actually added in maybe food, during food production to keep the food. I mean, maybe to maybe improve the quality of food and such. Those are actually mostly made maybe in the lab, and also may also come in with their own issues like allergies and such. Okay. Have I answered you?
Yes.
Okay. Another question. Okay. I want us to discuss something, and I want you to be very, like really think about it. TV, the TV. Okay. Internet and the radio. Do you think they affect, they have affected the way where mwenyewe ama your familia, the way you guys eat? Do you think the TV, the radio, or even the internet has affected the way you guys eat at home? Lorato? 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 Okay. Tabitha? Tabitha?
Yes.
TV ime affect how you guys eat at home?
Pardon?
The TV, come on, I've asked that question 3 times now. The TV and radio. The TV and radio may affect how you eat at home.
People don't come together. Like everyone is busy with their own phones or doing stuff. And they tend to eat on their own. Like they don't take the food in the dining the way people used to, or to take food there.
Okay, maybe that's maybe internet, yeah. But
Yeah.
we are not really looking at maybe social eating. We are talking about the nutritional part of it.
Oh.
Yeah, like how does it affect what you eat? What you eat, not how you eat, but what you eat. Godfrey? Okay, maybe kuna program ya upishi inakuja hapa kwa TV, wanaonyesha kupika mahamri ama sijui kupika sijui nini, and you feel like you're interested, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then what do? You go and try, isn't it?
Yeah.
Will you throw away those mandazis after you have made them?
No, you eat them.
You eat them, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you like them, you'll start making them like every other week. You make sure you have those mandazis, isn't it?
Yes.
Has that TV affected how you've been eating?
Yes.
Maybe ulikuwa umezoea kuboil mihogo and
healthy foods.
Yes, you are doing healthy foods. Lakini this new recipe has made you to like deviate. Okay?
Yes.
What about adverts? Things like Royco, Nor Cubes, sijui nini. They bring, wanaleta kwa TV, and then they show you like there's this one that wanapikaka sukuma alafu wanaweka 2 cubes, and then the kids wanakula wanasema more please, and you imagining those are sukuma wiki, and maybe you don't even like them, but you're like these kids look like they have really enjoyed the sukuma wiki, hata mimi naweza jaribu. Then you go and try. Ukijaribu and you like it, then you make sure that every time you're making sukuma wiki you have cubes in the house, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. that is one way we are affected, because our behaviors are altered by maybe something like an advert. An advert on TV is going to affect how it, okay? Wakisema like they are advertising what bread? Select a bread. Like because wanapeana sijui free jam and free chocolate, inaitwa chocolate powder. Unaamua hata unajaribu, and maybe you've been actually using gouache, those healthy breakfast snacks like arrowroots, sweet potatoes, cassava and such. Now you want to go and also try the bread. Okay, if you like it, you continue eating the bread. That's how. So of course it will affect us in one way. So if the adverts are about unhealthy food, we are going to find ourselves indulging in unhealthy food, like jam on bread. Wakiapply, wakiuma wanaonyeshana, like just how good it is. And you imagine the amount of sugar. Okay, for me, I imagine the amount of sugar in the jam. And I'm like, oh no, that's a no. And then of course, my kids are always like, Mom, see, like every other advert, they see wakiona sijui ni crop, they want us to buy close up. They wakiona bluebird peanut butter, they want us to buy that one. Wakiona Zesta jam on the TV, they want us to try that one also. So you can imagine if I was to go with their wishes, I think we'd be eating very unhealthy food every other day. But you tell them that is not healthy. Yeah, it may be very sweet, but it is not healthy. It's not something you do every day. Okay, so you are the agents of change. I always tell my students that you are the agents of change. Even in cooking, once you start cooking, you are the agents of change. Kama kwenu watu wamezoea kukula vegetables kama zimekuwa overcooked, such that they don't get any vitamin C and out of it, you are the one to tell them from now to onwards, we don't cook our vegetables like this, we cook them like this. And then make sure that you tell them the benefits of cooking those vegetables like that, and they will embrace it. Lakini usiende uambie tutakupikanga hivi, atupikangi hivi, tunapikanga hivi. Tell them, when you cook these vegetables like this, mwalimu alituambia zinakuwa zimepoteza all the nutrients, so tunakula even worse than a cow chewing grass. So instead of eating unworthy vegetables, can we cook them like this, the way the mwalimu alituonyesha? Then unawapikia and then see how they respond. When they know iko na value, watakula hata kama watafeel iko mbaya for the first few days, but after that they will get used to it. Like kwetu home, I had this problem when I was in campus, getting people to eat things like cabbage and sukuma wiki kama zijaiva vizuri. Yeah, kwetu zilikuwa zinapikwa mpaka zinakuwa zimeanza kuchange color. So if you go and tell them now from today onwards, tutakuwa tunapika vegetables hivi, they are like, no, but these vegetables are raw. We are like, how? They're not raw. Vegetables are not even supposed to be cooked. In fact, you should eat them raw. Yeah. Then everyone is looking at me like, are you all right? Yeah. And but you tell them why they're supposed to be eaten as such, and they will find themselves, even after some time, my mom would cook them like me, and I'm like, hey mom, you have decided, well, if you cannot beat them, you join them. Yeah. So you find that she will also, they will also embrace the way you cook, and of course they will also preach that to their friends out there. So be an agent of change. If you feel that people are eating the wrong thing, you realize you have been eating the wrong thing, then tell them this is how we do it, and give them the reasons. Don't just tell them from today onwards usichemshe majani, uweke like kama maji imechemka for only 4 minutes, and tell them why. Don't just tell them usiku unachemsha majani. Tell them why. Okay. Tell them why the vegetables should be cooked for only few minutes, and they should not be reheated. Like ati unapika alafu baadaye unazireheat. Tell them that you cook them as the last minute and serve them immediately. Okay. All right. So do you have any other questions? Someone with a question? Okay, I want to bring in the to talk about the what? Organic chemistry a little. We talked about the organic structure of hydrocarbons, and the hydrocarbons we actually concentrated so much on were the fatty hydrocarbons. We talked of the saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. We said saturated hydrocarbons have single bonds, okay, and the bond tends to be bound to so many hydrogen carbons on the outside, meaning that the fat is not easy to break down. Okay, so that makes it even not easy to digest. And then of course it has some of them have I mean, because saturated fats actually have very high cholesterol, they tend to affect the heart. And we say that saturated fats are those that come from animal products like animal fats like sweat and lard from animals. Okay, lard comes from pigs, then sweat comes from cows. Okay, or not just cows, but those domesticated other animals like sheep and goats. Okay, then we also talked of unsaturated hydrocarbons, those that have the hydrogen carbons distributed out of like from the carbon itself. So you find that the carbon are easy to actually disintegrate or break down, and that is the kind of fats that we should be more interested in, we should actually embrace. We have polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, isn't it? Yes, monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, and the saturated fats, fatty acids. So we should always find ourselves going for the unsaturated ones, that is mono and polyunsaturated fats. Those ones mostly come from plant origin, so they will actually give us more benefits. Then we have trans fats. Trans fats are which ones? Trans fats are fats that have been hydrolyzed, as in they have been added more hydrogen, okay, hydrogen ions, and they tend to actually, they are mostly liquid oils that with the addition of the hydrogen makes them become solid. And of course, they are mostly used in preservation of food, although some actually you may find them even in fats like za kupika, okay, akina kimbo and such. So they are also not very healthy, so because they will clog the blood vessels. Okay, so let us go for liquid oils that are mostly vegetable in form. Okay, if you use our practical book, practical textbook, it gives even tips on healthy eating. Maybe where you have been told to use butter, it tells you you can actually use olive oil, or you can actually go for margarine. Okay, so let us limit the usage of saturated fats where we can. Any questions? On anything to do with fats?
No.
Okay. The other topic was, I think, enzymes. Yes. I think we have talked about enzymes kidogo when we are talking about the negative benefits of enzymes, but we saw that enzymes are very important in the body. They are actually proteins that are catalysts in the body process. Everything that happens in these bodies of ours actually is facilitated by enzymes. And we said that enzymes have their names come from whatever function they help in, because they're specific to certain functions. And like we say, the breakdown of fats or lipids into fatty acids in the body is actually held by an enzyme called lipase. As in, from the word lipid, we have lipase. Okay, we also have protease from protein. It helps in the breakdown of proteins to peptic acid and peptides, so that they can be easily absorbed by the body. So then, of course, we always talk of how does an enzyme work. An enzyme always works as what? There's the substrate and the product. So if there's actually what we call a lock and key kind of orientation. The substrate and the product must fit one another, the way a lock and a key fit one another. In our notes, there's that picture in blue that shows the substrate ikiwa na shimo, and then the product comes in with like the protruding whatever's hizo kama za funguo, then it will get in there and we lock and finish the process. And this is something that happens like every other time. Even when we are asleep, those things are actually happening in the body. Okay, but when you are asleep, they don't happen, like as fast as when we are when you are working or when you are walking or whatever you're doing. Okay. Yes. And I think we can also in fact we also talked of the low density lipoproteins, or what we call LDLs. We also talked of high density lipoproteins. Can someone remind us anything on that? Godfrey?
Pardon?
When we were talking about fats, we also talked of those that we call LDLs and the HDLs. And even in our definitions, kulikuwa na LDL na kulikuwa na HDL. So LDL ni gani? Or what is the what does it stand for? Nimetoka masu saa hii, so ni kumaanisha tulianza kudose.
Low density lipoproteins.
Yes, low density lipoproteins. And HDL means?
High density.
Yeah, high density. Yeah, high density lipoproteins. Which one is the good cholesterol and which one is the bad cholesterol?
Well, low density is the bad cholesterol.
Yes, low density lipoproteins is the bad cholesterol, and high density is the good cholesterol. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that is it. I don't think I have any more issues. I think I'll give you the next how many minutes? 20 plus
22.
25, around 45 minutes. You do your revision, alafu you can access the card. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
All the best.
Okay, ngumu.
Sorry? Sio ngumu. The 35 minutes are actually so many, by the way. Just make sure you don't leave that page. If you leave your page, things will not work. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.